he is going to be with us here in just a second as soon as I can figure out this freaking video thing. I've been doing this crap for 10 years and I still don't know how to press record. We've got, I don't know what is going on here. And they want me to do Facebook Live too. I can't even figure out Manicam, much less Facebook Live. Gregory's with us here. As you see, he is, if you joined us at the top of the show, I was joking about the fact that I couldn't pick him up on Ustream because I thought he was a vampire. No, it was just a Manicam error. He's not a vampire.
I had my stick ready.
You can clearly see him there. Now, Gregory, I heard a little bit about your story from mutual friends of ours. Explain to us just what the heck is going on, my friend.
I could probably talk all day, but I'll try to keep it as simple as I can.
Hold on, I can't hear you.
Is your mic on?
Check 1 2 1 2.
Okay, am I
There we are. We got you. Look at that.
All right, I'll try to brief this up as easy as I can.
As easy as possible.
Closer to the mic.
You might have to put yourself close. There you are.
I've told this
They're wireless mics, and I don't know why. I don't know why in this world, wireless mics can't be better. Wait, we're sending people to the moon. we're curing AIDS. We can't we can't make a wireless mic that people can just sit on the couch and talk into. It's amazing. Go ahead, sir.
All right. Well, so I've been diagnosed epileptic since. Am I on? I've been diagnosed epileptic since about May 12th of 2015, and in fact, I've had the paramedics before at my house on that day. So the paramedics know that epileptic lives at my address. Well, this year on August 6th, I had a migraine most of the day and had been vomiting most of the morning, and it was about midday that I'd taken an ibuprofen. I was able to kind of hold a little saltine down, and so I was going to go try to sleep off my migraine. Well, I went downstairs, and sometimes even noise can kind of trigger me to, get nauseous or whatnot when I have those migraines. And I had heard my stepson outside talking to one of my friends that had showed up for me, but I was down, so he didn't stick around. But they were outside, and I heard him, so I got up to. I guess it kind of woke me, and I was going to head up to probably go to the bathroom and get sick. Well, most of the way up the stairwell, or at least half of the way, I apparently had a seizure there and fell down the stairwell. Most of my family, I live in a duplex, and my family lives in the other side as well. As I have more than a couple family members living on my side, and about everybody heard me fall down the stairs. And my wife came rushing to my aid, and she saw me at the bottom of the stairwell with my head on a 2x4 that I kind of apparently hit, and I was seizing at the bottom of the stairwell with my legs up the stairwell. And so so she had I was out of it, so obviously I don't know exactly the exact circumstances, but she got the phone and called 911, and on the 911 call, she told them I had a seizure and fallen down the stairwell. Yeah. Well, so when the fire department showed up, they apparently had heard my wife and my dad being loud inside, and they thought there was some type of domestic issue going along with whatever they knew what was happening in there. And that's partly, I got a letter from the lieutenant, one of the lieutenants up at the Hutch Police Department. And they basically, I'm going to get sidetracked, but...
No, take your time, brother. Take your time. We got 2 hours. Take your time. Go ahead.
I got a little sidetracked, but
and that's cool.
Let me get back to So
the paramedics and the fire department and everybody's shown up to your place.
Okay.
And
paramedics
had heard
arguments.
People arguing, so they thought domestic issue.
Yeah, so my paper says that within a minute that the police were called because the paramedics showed up, heard loud arguing. That's what they thought it was. So they called for the police to come on some form of welfare check of welfare, or
Yeah.
concern of welfare.
Yeah.
And so within, I don't know. Again, I was out of it for a little while. I was out of it for a little while before the paramedics showed up, and I managed to become conscious, but not in really a conscious state of mind, a wondering state of mind, and
Yeah.
post. So then the paramedics hardly. I don't even know how many of them came inside, but the cops came inside pretty quick, and after the first officer came inside and was trying to command me, and I wasn't taking, following his orders very well, because I had no idea he was in my front room, and so shortly thereafter, another officer showed up, and they were trying to get me down on the couch, and they claimed they were trying to basically confine me and get me cuffed or whatever they had to get me the supposed medical help that I needed as fast as possible. But then I'm not exactly sure of everything. Like I've said, I was out of it, but right about that time, an officer had kind of shoved me down and was holding me down, and it smashed his knee kind of on my face.
Holy smokes.
In the process, tore out about a big portion of my beard in the middle down here. Otherwise, it would probably look a little bit fuller. But, so he was smashing his knee in my face, and I was already probably lack of oxygen from my seizure, and he was trying to command me. Right after he smashed his knee in my face, I was apparently struggling for air, and I bit like the inside of his thigh or whatever, trying to stay alive.
Yeah, you're trying to get the heck out of there.
So apparently he pulled away, and somebody had told me that a cop said, another probably superior officer said, don't bite my officers or whatnot. And right after that, my family, they'd all been forced outside from the cops, and they heard a pop from outside. And at first, they thought maybe I got shot, but it was a taser being deployed on me for biting an officer. And in the paper that I got from them admits to them knowing that I had a seizure on a couple occasions. They were informed
Holy
that
smokes.
it was an epileptic seizure. So, and they had told me one time they thought if they tased me and get me on the stretcher or the ambulance a little bit faster would probably be better for me, even though that state of mind I was in walking around, I don't think I was in like deadly. I wasn't in.
Yeah, I don't think you were in.
Help so bad that I needed to get tased to get on the ambulance. I've had other seizures where I've come out of it on my own, and not had to go to the hospital. But I've had about 5 seizures now, and my medicine's not even controlling my epilepsy all the way. So I'll get to that here in a second. But back to the story. So the taser got deployed on me once, and I apparently was I apparently had a couple cops or police officers in like kind of chokehold position, trying to keep them back from me. And then right around that time when the officer smashed his knee in my face, I bit him, and then the taser popped. Well, then after that, this paper that I have says I got up and I tried to run through some officers, and I think they deployed on me again for like 5 more seconds or something like that. And then right about this time is when I think I start kind of coming to, because when I start coming to, all I can remember, this is the first thing I can remember after falling down the stairwell, is screaming for help so loud at the top of my lungs that my brother coming to the scene from a block away, about a block away, could hear me screaming for help. And my head was bagged, and I was in dire need of oxygen.
Holy crap.
And my brother had managed to hurry up and speed there and record the latter end of me being put onto a stretcher with my head bagged, my hair, which is very long down to the bottom of my back, was all tangled up with tasers or whatever, so I lost a pretty good portion, a chunk of my hair trying to get that out. I'm lucky I saved as much as that as I did, So I remember screaming for help for it seemed like at least a couple minutes as loud as I could, and I'm pretty sure I damaged my vocal cords. Yeah, I play guitar and sing a little bit, and I've noticed that then when I do that now, I kind of sound like Chewbacca when I hit some high notes, which is kind of funny, but it kind of sucks.
Yeah.
Hopefully, maybe it'll fix with time a little bit, but.
Maybe maybe you should record your bluesy stuff right during this time.
Yeah. I've been told I look like Chewbacca anyway, so that's fitting.
Well,
But so they finally I was kind of waking up with my hands being restricted, and I had a bag on my head, and I don't even know if I had any vision yet or if I was just seeing the bag on my head. Like I said, I was already having a hard time breathing, and so around that, shortly after that, they finally got me a shot of Ativan and took me to the hospital, and the police waited around there long enough to make sure that I actually had a seizure. They were wanting some type of confirmation, so
Yeah.
they were going to see if they were going to press charges on me for biting them when they came in and shoved me around, first anyway, and they knew my family told them I had a seizure, so I woke up in the hospital. I actually had little glimpses of the hospital experience before I woke up on the 5th floor. I kind of remember waking up one other time and seeing an officer peek around at me, and I think it was around that time when they finally realized that I had a seizure, and all the police left, and I think I woke up in the hospital room a few hours later, and I still didn't really know what happened. I thought my wrist was broke. I had bloody cuff marks. I could probably show these people the scars in here. It's a little hard to see, but I have plenty of evidence on my YouTube channel of my scars, and so yeah, if you just want to search my name, Gregory Widener, it sounds spelled
On
like
YouTube?
it. James knows the spelling and has me linked or whatnot, but it's Widener. If you type Gregory Widener Assault, I have more than a couple YouTube web pages, but you'll see my story and all the videos of all the I had bruising on my biceps. My wrist felt like it was broke. Some of this the wrist thing could have sustained from falling down the stairs. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I was assaulted and tased by the police, apparently because I had a hunting knife laying against my wall like most men probably do, but so I don't know. I wasn't even making a move toward the supposed hunting knife, and got tased,
And you weren't really livid or lucid for most of this.
No, like I said, I didn't. I don't. Out of all my seizures, I've had maybe tiny little glimpses, and in that scenario, I might have this slightest recollection of something before the point when I started really realizing my hands were being restrained, and I was screaming.
Yeah, my
for help.
mom is extremely epileptic. And
Yeah,
she's actually at Topeka State Hospital now. I took care of her for years and years, and so she'd be gone for, sometimes 45 minutes is the longest.
Yeah, the very first night I had a seizure, my wife said, she had seen many dead people before because she used to work in nursing, and so she realized that I didn't have a pulse. So I believe I technically died for at least a few seconds, and I was.
Wow.
My wife had kneed me in the chest and elbowed my back, and I started breathing. And it took about 20 minutes. I sat on my bed downstairs for about 20 minutes before I kind of came to.
Right.
One of the other ones, I was out for about 40 minutes, and the last seizure I had, thankfully, it was only probably about 10 minutes. But
Yeah,
I fell off the toilet the last seizure.
Oh,
I
man.
woke up in a pit of vomit, and so the first thing I
Smokes.
remember is stepping in my hallway, seeing my dad and my wife being like, "What happened?" And
Yeah.
covered in vomit, and I had to go to the hospital. Fortunately, I was let out of the hospital pretty fast that time, but I did basically was down for about a day or whatever with the headache and.
We actually, you remember the first band we had here in town, the Samuel Band?
Uh-huh.
Riley Jenkins was our drummer, and we had a car wash raising money to go to Rockfest.
Yep.
When we went to Rockfest.
Yep, I remember when you guys played
Yeah, I
Rockfest.
can't believe we didn't. Anyway, but no, first car of this car wash, first car comes up, and Riley dips out in the middle of the parking lot with a Caesar. Hasn't had a Caesar in over a year.
Wow.
Yeah, and
Boom.
luckily me and my sister were there because he cracked his head on the cement. And so luckily we knew exactly what to do. Got him on his side and
Yeah.
his head covered with a towel. And the paramedics were there pretty fast because it was over by CD Trade Post.
Yeah.
And dude, like 30 minutes later, the dude he got staples in his head at the hospital. And 30 minutes later, he was back washing.
Wow.
Hardcore, dude.
That is pretty interesting. Being able to go from that to the
So,
other.
I know that sometimes the Caesars can wipe you out completely, or sometimes they're almost like an energy shot, like you have all this energy afterwards.
Yeah, I can't say that so far I've had very much energy. I've had
Sounds like they wipe you out pretty good.
I've had one seizure that I didn't go to the hospital for, and that was like November of last year. Other than that, yeah, they wiped me out pretty good. The last one, when the cops tased me, I spent about 3 days, a little over 72 hours in the hospital. And
So are you taking legal action for this? or-
that's actually part of the reason why I was wanting to be on the radio. I've called numerous attorneys. I'm trying to find
Yeah.
pro bono, and I do have a GoFundMe page, which is, it's a GoFundMe. I'm not sure the first half of that, but it's slash tasered epileptic with I'm not sure of this proper spelling of taser,
Yeah.
but mine is TAZERED epileptic. I think that I'm pretty sure that might be the full thing. If not, I'll probably send James that link or
Yeah.
whatever later. But yeah, so I'm kind of looking for any legal help that I could get, or if I can get this story out enough, maybe the HPD will at least kind of realize that they done something wrong. They knew that I had a seizure. I have proof of that, so maybe they'll realize they done something wrong and settle with me. This whole thing's kind of
And when did this occur?
this one was on August 6th of this year, and
Wow,
and,
just
uh,
fairly recently.
Yeah, pretty recent.
yeah. So and I got this letter from a lieutenant on October 10th. About a couple later, basically saying that they felt like this was within their department's season, and they were trying to get me mental after tasing me. That doesn't sound.
They were they were going to get you
Sounds
medical help by
Sounds good on
tasing
paper.
you.
It sounds really good on paper.
I'm like, what?
So,
How the hell does that work?
so that's pretty much the just.
My
of it.
God.
Yeah, so definitely, if there's anybody that's pro bono work that's listening, or anybody that knows anybody, let's definitely do that. 'Cause hopefully
at
that's
that.
a lawyer right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be funny if that was a lawyer.
That'd be
That
awesome.
would be awesome. I think it's probably just some rapper. But it is the Sunday show. It would be awesome if it worked that way. It would be fantastic.
Rapper might know an attorney.
No, well,
Yeah.
and that's the thing. The rappers, they might know an attorney. You never know.
So I do have on the internet, papers showing that I am epileptic for sure, and or that I have seizures anyway. It says epileptic, but I believe that's like a broad spectrum kind of wording for
Yeah.
them not really knowing why people. There are so many causes of seizures that it's hard to really pinpoint, but yeah, so that's pretty much it on that. So yeah, I'm just kind of looking for a legal help, and I am kind of, I'm out of work right now with having my seizures. I'm not allowed to have a driver's license, so if I'm forced to go to work right now with not being fully controlled by my medication, then I could have a seizure.
You could have
Trying
another
to-
seizure
then
and
the cops would come
potentially.
and tase me or shoot me. I could, be halfway out of my mind, and I could end up getting killed this time. Instead.
Have another problem again. We've
And
got
so-
a situation
Where-
on UStream if you're watching. It is called Watching the Watchers. We've got Jay
She's
Burnwell
live
live streaming,
live streaming
and we're just live streaming her. But Gregory, you've pretty much what are you trying to do besides all the different things to try and get the word out and everything? What would you like to happen, I guess, at the end of the day with this whole thing?
Well, I've seen similar cases of this online, and even as far as to the point where people have been tased and after having, I think, even seizures and attempting to sue the police departments in cases where they'd actually won for maybe a couple $100,000 or something, but
Yeah.
and in that case, the police department just fails to pay them for so long and then starts harassing them. The guy that I do know the case that he won against them, apparently they busted him for some type of cannabis possession after.
Of course.
So if you,
Of course, there's always something.
So if you, I really kind of, part of me is afraid to sue him, you know, because I would really like to just them to, you know, see that they did wrong and
just step
settle
up and
me for
yeah.
something. And I'm in a tough position here, you know. I mean, you know, I hate giving out all types of information about myself, but being down with seizures and not being able to work, you know, I am back a couple months on rent, and the law society is, I kind of believe they should help me out a little bit. I mean, I don't know. I mean, like I told the lieutenant, really, what's your child's life worth or your life? You know,
That too.
I mean, especially if I would have died, you know, I mean, that would have been an obvious. It should be an easy lawsuit, but given all the facts, I still think this could be a fairly easy lawsuit. I just got to find somebody to take it on, or.
I mean, how would they react if my mother had a seizure and I tased her, threw her in the car, and took her to the hospital?
Yeah.
How do you think that would play out? Probably not with a letter saying you did the right thing.
Yeah.
I'm really
You
glad
never
that
know,
you
though.
tased her so she could get her medical help quicker.
Maybe not from the hospital. But
See,
from the
that
hospital.
I just don't understand. The whole thing of we tased you so we could get your medical help
Well, that's
quicker.
kind of what they.
What the hell
that's
is
kind
that?
Of what they initially said. It
What
doesn't.
kind of weird world do we live in with this?
Yeah, it doesn't exactly
Like
say that on
history?
paper, but that's what my family was told initially. The paper makes it sound a little bit more justified by saying there was a hunting knife and whatnot. But my family was told that they believed if they tased me, I could get medical help faster. And another thing that they accused me of being on, like, drug like meth, and I even took my
See,
pill,
that-
I even took my pill bottle that's for my seizure medications, an empty one, and tested it out, and then they were like trying to deny that, but more than a couple of my witnesses had seen him do that. And, you know, I reassured these officers that I've never done any methamphetamines in my entire life. I've seen too many people go down that road and
Yeah.
not in well.
Not
So
a pretty road to go down.
Yeah.
Oh man, I wish they would just like blow up the entranceway to that road, and
Yeah.
nobody could ever take it again. That'd be fine by me.
Yeah. Now,
Back in time, and whoever invented meth, like, you know,
Yeah.
give them a huge dose right there. And
see,
then,
I've always wondered with the whole meth thing. Why do people think that's a good idea?
Mhm.
You know, I could see pot. Oh, it's a plant. I'm smoking it. Or even Coke. You know,
Well-
Coke's been around for millions of years. But this meth stuff, let's see. Let's go find some old tires. Ground those up with some batteries. Some other stuff. Oh, and I'm going to inject that into me.
Yeah. yeah,
Like, what the hell is that?
I know. You gotta have a deep hatred for friends, family, and teeth. You gotta,
Do all that.
You
It's
lose the mouth too.
yeah.
It's a hell of a
Yeah.
deal. Now Gregory, if people want to get a hold of you and they want to help you out, is there a phone number or something we can give out? People get a hold of you on email, Facebook.
email.
How do they get a hold of you if somebody
Email.
wants to help you?
Email's probably a better way, and
Okay.
it's just as easy as Gregory A. Widener. You know, probably it's all lowercase. Probably not.
Oh yeah.
Probably not case sensitive or whatever, but so it's Gregory A. Widener at gmail.com. That's the one that I've sent most of my stuff involving that.
And Widener is Widener.
That's right.
And
We're friends.
get a hold of him. And I appreciate you coming on and telling us your story, my friend.
Appreciate you having me on greatly.
Because and from time to time, you know, give us some updates on what's been going on and
Sure will do that.
different things. And thanks for coming on, my friend.
Yeah. Thanks
I appreciate
for
it.
having me.
We are going to take a break. When we come back, we have the voodoo sex cult. What? Who planned this transition?